What's up, Buttercup? I'm Pam Barnes, marketing expert.
And I'm Hannah Cox, business strategist.
And this is the Go Getter Gals podcast,
where everyday gals grow together and you'll find resources to help you grow personally and professionally.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Pam Barnes, and I have this lovely lady. Could you say your name, please, so we can pronounce it correctly?
Right. Kalish Morrow.
Kalish Morrow. That is a very unique name, and it's very beautiful. So Miss Kalish, she is a fitness coach. May not be good. This is not the correct terms, but she started that way. And then she moved into lifestyle coaching. And I would love for her to explain all of that to you lovely ladies so you can hear more about her. So please tell us.
Absolutely. And thank you, Pam, for having me on the show. We have really great conversations, and we're just at the beginning of our relationship. And so many more conversations to come. But yeah, so I would start off with a fitness. So my foundation is around fitness and nutrition. My certifications are, I'm a personal trainer, nutrition coach. And then this year I got my certification in mindset coaching, because what I found when I was working with people is I could give them the most sustainable plans. I'm like, okay, you only have to work out 3 days a week. You're going to get probably even more results than many people who try to go every day, because we're doing it smart, programming, so that's sustainable. Then we're doing nutrition. I don't do restriction. What we do instead is we add in protein, and that will help actually reduce the appetite. So they would eat less calories overall, still see changes in the physical body. So I'm just sitting here thinking okay, these are all solid things that my clients could be doing, and they're pumped. And then about 3 weeks in, I'm still okay, can we just get the protein in? Okay, can you just show up for your workouts? Can we just, it's only a couple days a week. So it was these things that kept coming up of, what is going on here? And a lot of coaches will usually, and I would do it too, it would be that default of, oh, it's just them. They don't want it bad enough. And I need clients who want it bad enough. But that's the whole thing. It's as a coach, it's on me to go ahead and instill this autonomy with them and help pull out the goals that they have and really help them sink deeper into those things. So this year I went and got my health mindset coaching certification. I was trained by a psychologist. She had a whole program that's put together, and then there's advanced levels and everything. But it really digs deeper into intrinsic motivation, autonomy, behavioral change therapy, all those nerdy terms and everything. But really, when it comes down to at the end of the day, it's digging into that identity work. And that's really where the motivation comes from. A lot of coaches think oh, they just need to be disciplined. You need willpower. And that comes with the motivation and the type of motivation I'm talking about, not the motivation of I want to look good in a bikini, or I've got a wedding coming up, that kind of thing. That's outside of yourself. That's extrinsic. What we want is I want to be in the best shape of my life because I'll feel great in my skin. I am looking at 10 years down the road where I might be having grandkids, or I just want to be able to continue traveling when I retire. I want to go up and down my damn stairs and not have this pain getting out of bed. So that right there is really deeply motivated for a lot of the people that I work with. And it's rooting back into that for when they have issues with getting up and the days that they didn't want to show up to the gym. But that is long answer, but that is what I do. And then more of the lifestyle as well, where I have been an interior designer, and I know how much of an impact our spaces impact us. I've had a background in politics as well, so just building up that confidence too. So a lot of things, a lot of moving parts that go into what I do that just really helps support that overall healthy lifestyle. And as we were talking about, because I interviewed Pam right before this one, we were talking about that lifestyle. I mean, healthy lifestyle, it's right there in the name, in the title itself. So building up that lifestyle for people, so it becomes more automatic rather than a forced thing.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Um, Identity. You said identity. And Go Getter Gals, one of the things that we focus on in our group is helping women show up as their true and authentic selves and not apologize for it. And that is identity. You don't know what you really want until you know who you are, kind of thing. So I love that. I love that. Love that. Love that. So how long have you been in business?
I have been in business. Let's see. I don't have a straight answer for it. I guess maybe almost a couple of years, but I relaunched the business in May of last year, 2025. I took nearly a year off after just being in business for a few months. We moved from California to what is now a dream home out in Louisiana. I had family out here, so I put the pause on the business. So basically there is an interruption, but I got my certification a couple years ago, and I've been working with people on and off since then, and now all in as of the last few months.
That's amazing. Okay. So let's take a step back from the business for a second and let's go into the whole person of who you are. I'm going to ask you a question of what lights you up right now? Like, what is something that just got you just pumped and so excited?
Oh, I mean, I guess a lot of my identity right now is revolving around a lot of the business. So what is
Uh-huh.
lighting me up right now is getting to have these conversations with women. And I want to caveat, I don't
Mm.
work exclusively with women, but yeah, you talk about what you know. And I am really excited for possibilities of and opportunities of getting on stages, and I have my
Mm.
podcast as well, and getting on other podcasts and just kind of spreading more of a message of women needing to take up space, both physically and emotionally. We shrink
Did you hear
ourselves physically.
that? Continue. I'm just saying, did you hear that, ladies? This is
So
good.
it's that two-part thing. I'll go into what most of us were a lot of issues that we have is we shrink as women. We want to shrink our
Mm.
voices. We are afraid to put it out there, even if we feel all fired up. When it comes down to actually taking a stand or just expressing who you are, a lot of times we shrink back, and that's just not the business. we're not living our true authentic selves. We're not giving power to our voices. I said that I had my background was in politics as well. I was an elected official. I served on my city council. I got rotated in as mayor as well. So definitely had to just stand my ground. And women too, we have a very different way that we can fill a room. I think a lot of
Mm.
times as women, when we want to go and maybe with like these more corporate things, we see a lot of how masculine energy can be, and it can be loud or whatever. And I think a lot of times women try to emulate that. What I found that I did, and I've had to go back and look at just my own story. When I got put in as mayor, and there's a whole story to that. It came about a lot sooner than I had planned. I was thinking I'd have more time to prep for that, think about who I was going to show up as, and then I just kind of got thrown in there. And what I found when I was looking back at my story was I showed up in a very calm, grounded presence. And I think it's very feminine energy. Whereas instead of like, if I had to get a boisterous room under control, like you imagine like just the banging of the gavel and trying to speak over everybody. But instead it was like, I literally, there's a couple times where I just went, shh, right into the microphone, and it made everybody stop and just kind of stand up. And it's just this grounded presence I didn't realize I had. But
Mm.
again, women learning how to anchor into their feminine energy in these different ways. And I think like you doing Go Getter Gals, like those are those rooms that you relearn these bad habits, or not relearn, that's probably the bad way of putting it, but you learn what's a bad habit, and you can correct it in those rooms. You get that space to correct that, and you get to learn by some other examples as well. So the other part of it, though, is taking up space physically. We've seen it, well, and we still have it where women are told you don't want to get too bulky, you're going to look like a man, and all these, you get shamed into shrinking. We'll call women cardio bunnies because a lot of times they're too afraid to get on the weights, and they just want to be on the treadmill all the time, and that's how they're going to take care of their bodies, because of this really crazy fear that they're going to become like this really big, bulky, masculine hulk of a person or whatever. And I can speak on how that doesn't really happen, and also not necessarily that if you do put on muscle easily like that, like how that's not necessarily a good thing. But everybody's got their own aesthetic goals, so there is that. But what I have also found, though, is that in that shrinking of our bodies, we are also hurting our health in that process, because we need muscle mass on our bodies. It is something, it's a longevity tool. It is the fountain of youth, and something that we should be cultivating earlier in our lives, earlier years, and then beyond. You can start at any time, but you definitely get a leg up if you start that earlier on. So just showing people that it's okay, telling women, like, giving them a different narrative, maybe something else to think about when they're doing their health journey. And I did find that as I was going to the gym and I was lifting the heavy things and really pushing myself, and I'm still a small person. I lift very heavy weights, but I'm still a small person. So if women who are afraid that they're going to become these huge, hulks, she-hulks or whatever, it's very deliberate that you have to really make the effort to get there. But what I found, though, was it was great stress relief, for one. But it was that mental stamina of going in and doing the hard things, and then seeing that show up when I was having to be up on the dais or having difficult conversations with other politicians and take a stand for something that I felt was going to be beneficial for my community. So again, another long-winded answer to things, but it is something that is definitely lighting me up, like just this opportunity to go and make that impact out in the world, and hopefully inspire other women to take up space physically and energetically.
No, that's very, very good. Yeah, we got to have the confidence to be able to do that, and exercising builds confidence. It really does. So I love that. Pouring into yourself, doing something for you builds confidence. So kudos to you for being mayor. Like, wow. And I'm so excited for the listeners listening to this, because that was good. That was really inspirational. And we're just everyday gals, just living life. Hey gals, if you love what you're hearing and you want to get more involved, because trust me, I love Go Getter Gals. I'm obsessed with it. If you love this podcast as much as we do, all you have to do is go on our Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, and we're under Go-Getter Gals. We are going to have all of our episodes on the podcast link on our website at go-gettergals.com. Thank you for allowing me to interrupt for just a second. We look forward to continuing to help you grow. Without further ado, here's the Go Getter Gals podcast. Now I'm going to ask to tone it down a little bit and to make it a little fun. What is a guilty pleasure you refuse to feel guilty about? Like, we all have those things that we do as like, this just makes me happy. And it's not the best thing, but that's okay.
Oh man, I guess there's quite a few.
No, I love that.
I know, but I guess, like, just given what I do, and I think it really it throws a lot of people, is that I still go out and I drink. I still like sweets. I'm in Louisiana right now, or I live in Louisiana, new transplant, but king cake season just started because we're going to carnival season leading up to Mardi Gras and all that. So we've got king cake in the house. But it's those things that I think that really throw people off, that, like, no, I don't believe in being perfect, quote unquote perfect, all the time, because that's not how we should be living. We should be enjoying our lives and yeah, so I don't feel guilty about that, because I also know how to put on kind of those speed bumps, or those guide rails, the guide
Mhm.
rails on it too. But yeah, I think that it's still about just going and living your life to the fullest, and not feeling guilty about these things, especially when I feel like a lot of, well, I'm a fitness coach and everything, so people look to me to be this example of, you know, dialing everything in perfectly, and I'm not, and that's not what I teach people.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. And it makes you who you are, having those sweets and king cakes. Yeah, I'm an ex-baker. So yeah, king cakes are like the best. I can't eat gluten anymore, which is so sad. But yeah, I amazing. So I get that. I also get the drinking too. You got to unwind. You got to have that little moment where you're just you in your moment and just being just there. Sometimes we just need to be there and we need to relax and breathe and have a little fun.
Yeah.
Um, so one of my guilty pleasures, this is a funny one. One of mine is, so my son plays Pokemon. He's 14 years old, and to be able to relate to a 14-year-old boy is hard. So guess what I do? I play Pokemon. And we go and we buy booster packs, which are not cheap. They are not cheap at all. But we go and we open up booster packs and all the fun stuff. And it's just great. Or we'll go and spend $90 on a card. I know not all the listeners or some of the listeners like, oh my gosh, why would you do that? It's like, because it makes me happy. It makes my son happy. Like, what is that one thing that you do? Like, that is you. Like, these memories, these Pokemon cards are going to be with us forever. Even if we have a fire, it's going to be right here in our minds. And we're going to remember all of those memories that we had when it came to battling it out. And I am not a happy loser, just going to tell you. So, so we even have those not so happy memories. I'm like, ah, I'm a very sore loser. I'm just going to tell you. So, but it's stuff like that. So, again, we're everyday gals growing together and we have whatever those things are. I challenge you, the listener, to take those things and do more of those things that make you happy. Because it just makes you you. And you can, if you're eating the sweets and everything, you can discipline yourself to go and exercise more. It's not a take two, or you can be like, I can gain a couple pounds and it'll be fine. I mean, it's just whatever makes you happy.
Well, if I could jump in on that one too, just
Yeah.
because, if we want to educate, there's a couple tricks that help blunt that as well. So, true story. Yesterday, my husband yells up to me, and he's a gym rat and everything himself. So he yells up to me and goes, can I have king cake for breakfast? And I go, yeah, as long as you have your protein first, and maybe, go for a walk or go for your workout right afterwards. Like, but it's these things that help blunt the sugar rush, and for lack of a better term, but the blood sugar spikes and stuff that helps out with your metabolism and your metabolic health, basically. So again, it's like it's putting in those guide rails so you can go and do those things. But yeah, but also, king cake once in a while is also not going to wreck everything for you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So here is a fun one. What's one way you're trying to show up better for the women in your life?
Ooh. I've been doing a lot of personal growth. So a lot of digging into that. And it really started with the course that I took, with the mindset course. I didn't realize how much of a profound effect that was going to have on me. But it was like I was just relaunching the business, so I didn't have any clients right then. So I really got to just, rather than think about what my clients' issues were when I was learning, you want to be like, okay, how can I apply it to that person? Well, I'm not working with anybody, so I was applying it to myself a lot. But there was a lot of personal growth that was coming out of that, and the digging deep, and the identity work too was a huge thing. And that's what now that I'm working with a business mentor, and she has a history with being a life coach as well. And her first question to me was, "What is the one thing that you want to be remembered for?" And I had to think, and I even went to ChatGPT, and I was like, I'm at a loss. Like, I want to say motivation, but it just doesn't land right. And then it said identity, because it starts to get to know you a lot more. And I had to sit with that, and it's true. Like, identity is what I want to be known for, and it's a lot of what I do right now. So, with that, I'm still putting in the reps of working through my own issues and monitoring my own thoughts and seeing where those take me to, and then being able to help other people through my own work on myself. So I'm trying to remember what the original question was, but
Oh no, that was, how are you trying to show up better for women in your life? And that's it. Working
yeah,
on you.
yep. And then
Yeah.
being able to just get rid of, like, I've come from a long history of, like, complainers, like, you complain a lot, or you just
Mhm.
whatever, and now trying to catch, because we'll call it venting, but now trying to catch that, like, maybe I don't need to vent that way anymore. Maybe I can do more reframing than venting. Something bad happened, yeah, but we can reframe it into a different way, and then
No,
be
I
that
love
example
that.
for the other women. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. That is perfect. That is perfect. Yes. When you work on you, things change. When you stop complaining and start pointing the finger at yourself, which is one of the hardest things to do. Oh, very hard. if, if you, one of the best ways to step into this, just lightly step into it, is to watch the TED Talk. There's my words. TED Talk from Brene Brown on vulnerability. Oh,
I
oh,
just
it'll
got
get
chills. I love her.
yeah, me too, me too, me too, me too. Okay. All right. So here is one. Um, what is something that you used to think you couldn't do, but now you can?
Ooh. Sticking to something. That was a big thing, and I don't mean to keep bringing it back to the business, but it's been
No, you're fine.
it's been such, like, the big learning curve for me. I'd been a business owner in the past, and it didn't pan out. And I've tried a bunch of different hats. Like, I can list out all the different things that I've done throughout my life. I've already gone over a couple of them, but I felt like I just didn't have the ability to stick to things when things got really difficult in some areas, but in particular with business. And I really had to prove myself wrong with that, and I have. So when things were coming up, because I'm not, we're talking about with what you do in marketing and everything, and there's so much with website design. That's not my natural habitat. And so there was a lot of learning that I had to do. I'm, pre-revenue. I don't have the funds to hire anybody. So I'm having to buckle down and do everything myself. And those were things that would really get me hung up. And I made that promise that I would stick to doing the thing well after the feeling that the intention was set was gone. So,
Yeah.
and so being like, no, I have to sit down and I have to learn this and work through it. And so much, I guess, yeah, for the tech side, if I can narrow it in, then it's I didn't think that I would be good at tech, and now I'm turning into more of a tech person, something I never thought I would be able to do.
No, I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. I was the same way. I was like, I can't do this. Like, what am I doing? It took me forever to grow my business because I was afraid because I taught myself everything I know. And I was like, I'm not smart. Like, what? And I'm not good at tech. What? And then I started getting into rooms teaching people just one on one about what I know. And I was talking so far above their head that they're like, honey, you are brilliant. And I was like, what? What? No. So I love that you shared that. Yes. I love, 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 love that. Okay. Well, we are going to come to the end of our segment. And I want to ask one last question. And this is one we ask every single person that we interview. What does legacy mean to you?
Ooh, that's a deep one, but I'll try to make it short.
Mhm.
But I believe it's stepping into probably what your true purpose is, discovering what your true purpose is, and putting it out there into the world, and being willing to be known for that, having the audacity to put that out there, put it all out on the line. But and then the legacy part is just having that grow legs and live beyond you, and grow into something that's greater than what you ever thought could be possible.
No, that's good. And I love that you said audacity. I love that you said that, because that's the insecurity that comes in, right? Like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
And it's like, but you have to go back and be like, but this is who I am.
100%.
Yeah, that is legacy. Oh my goodness. Well, lovely lady, you did amazing. And I know that many of the listeners listening to this is going to get all kinds of nuggets from this. I got several myself. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. And if you want to hear more on what this lovely lady has going on, would you like to give your contact information?
Sure. I have my website, which is true-grit.fitness. So you can find all the information there. That will lead you to my podcast, my newsletter, blog, everything like that. And then you can find me over on Instagram, Kalish_Morrow. So KALISH_MORROW. So that's where I'll be.
All right.
Hey gals, thank you for listening to the Go Getter Gal podcast. All of the information for this episode can be found in the show notes. Make sure that you go and like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, as well as subscribe to us on YouTube. And to find the latest episodes of the Go Getter Gal podcast, you can visit our website at go-gettergals.com. See you next time.